Just gotten back from watching I, Frankenstein, and I know I'm a little bit late to the punch to kind of talk about this movie, but I did want to get this out of the way to really explain or give my thoughts as to how the movie was, since it's a underworld produced movie. And I have seen one underworld movie, The Rise of the Lycans, and it was fairly nice. I didn't really spend a lot of time watching vampire movies since it's been done to death. It's not really something to be approached anymore. And to be quite honest, I got really sick of the vampire movies because of the Twilight series after that. So yeah, I'm kind of torn from that. But I'm actually glad that they went with this particular movie, I, Frankenstein, and I was pretty pumped to actually see this movie, especially when it featured one of my favorite favorite classic monsters, the Frankenstein monster, and they do this movie fairly well. They did a brilliant casting for Adam Eckhart as the Frankenstein monster, or if you want to better call him, Adam, which I do like. I like that they go with that kind of description. They also cast Bill Nye as the villain of this movie. Like they couldn't resist starring him as the villain. They always do this. They also have Amanda Otto as the Gargoyle Queen. I'll explain that angle later, and I'm not gonna attempt to pronounce her name. I'm just gonna say the scientist or female scientist in this movie. She does a fair good job too, but they're just support characters, and they do a good job of it, but not too fantastic. I've been really wrestling in my mind as to whether I liked the movie overall or not, but there are some elements in this movie that I do like, and other nitpicks in this movie that I really don't. For starters, okay, this movie starts with the Frankenstein monster pretty much at the end of the actual novel, where he is hunted down by Victor Frankenstein to get revenge for the murder of his wife. And he ends up dying in his quest and buried in his family graveyard by the Frankenstein monster. When all of a sudden the demons come out of nowhere trying to capture him for their research to a greater plan that they have, but the gargoyles stop them before they could complete their plan. The gargoyles are, from what I understand, the descendants, or the I guess descendants of the angel Michael, to safeguard humanity from the forces of evil. So pretty much they're soldiers of heaven themselves, guarding every corner of the earth to fight against evil. The plan from the demons so far was made scarce until later on, when they find the experiment of bringing a dead creature to life is revealed in their hideout. What they're trying to do is reanimate dead bodies in order to host demon souls from hell. And given how many science fiction movies I've seen, this is not a bad idea. Like, this was fairly above average of a solid plan to actually take over the world, kind of thing. And throughout the movie, it's done a fair amount of job with the cat and mouse game that they play. They find the research notes of Victor Frankenstein in order to help them extend their knowledge of reanimation, and a couple of attempts of Adam, who is named the Frankenstein monster, gets it back in order to prevent them from gaining ground on their plans. It's about the point where where they are just about on the climax of this show, is where it kind of falls apart, and the reason for that being is in the second part of the movie, Adam goes down into the building and finds an entire army of thousands of corpses, ready to be reanimated and filled with demon souls, and an unexplained object mechanism in the middle of the entire chamber. I brushed this off. It was like, oh, not a big deal. Probably just something else unexplained. But then in the third part, when it's turned on, it starts reanimating all of the corpses. What was the necessity of having those scientists trying to figure out how to reanimate the dead bodies? Did you need the exact measurement of how much electricity to pump them with? I don't understand this. I mean, why would you have already built this machine if you already had the means to reanimate the bodies? Your plan doesn't really make any. You could have done this like I don't know, a year in advance or what? I don't really understand this. And what's more is the female scientist Tara does a fair amount of good job of being an interesting character, except for about the near ending, where she gets a phone call from her assistant from the bad guy's headquarters, and tells him to meet him at the subway or something, when she clearly knows that those guys are demons, and her partner is there. You probably would have thought that they would tap the phones to make sure that all goes according to their plan. And straight up after that, when she blatantly tells the villain that I'm not going to help you with your plan because I know who you guys are and I don't want the human world to fucking go to hell. Naboris then kills her assistant and then goes on to saying, if your plan were, if you're correct about reanimation, then prove it by bringing him back to life. And she does. Did you really forget that this is the fucking devil or semi-devil that's in your presence? What happened to, like, I'm not gonna go as you plan, go to hell or whatever? It just doesn't make any sense. I don't know, those kinds of nitpicks are what kind of really drag the movie down, but to be absolutely fair, the movie does a pretty good job with some of the action scenes, even though there's only, like, I don't know, three really good scenes that they have. They have the first battle between the demons and the gargoyles, which is fucking awesome. The the well choreographed fight between Adam and the second in command demon that is very good with weapons, and the last portion of the gargoyles going against the demons. Those are fine. I mean, it really is nice. It's really great to see some of this stuff happening, and Adam Aaron does a very good job of being Frankenstein, as far as the brooding type to being a monstrosity, being shunned by humanity and stuff like that. And yeah, it's there, and it's really freaking cool. But the fact that these nitpicks in the very end are what drag the movie down, it's not something I really want to see again, and I'm actually glad I did see it. I mean, it's good for one viewing, but afterwards, I'm not going to shelf this one. So, but one other thing about this movie that really intrigues me is the elements of both religion and science together, kind of duking out. It's not really stressed upon, because I don't think they were going this angle, or that their interest was in that, because they have the gargoyles that were very religious, combating the demons that were using science in order to gain ground on the battle for Earth and Heaven, and that kind of stuff. So, yeah, this kind of movie is pretty good to watch first off, but afterwards, I'm probably not going to be seeing it again anytime soon. Kudos to Aaron and Bill for doing such a great performance in this movie. I mean, you guys are awesome. But it's not the movie for me. I'm kind of getting tired of the whole demon versus angel bouts that they're having here. But one other thing that is bothering me is gargoyles. Why don't you go with angels? You know, that could have made a little bit more sense. Hell, they did that with what was that movie? It was one with the shoot. I can't remember it. It was with the actor who was Neo from The Matrix or something like that. And I can't believe I forgot his name. Shoot. Oh well. That's it for me, and that was all of I, Frankenstein. I thought it was pretty good, but I'm not going to see it again anytime soon. So I'll be on this coming Saturday with another anime review. So stick around, and I'll check you guys out later.